Hello, this is Dave Goodwin with the Regional Privateer. It's been a long time since I've made any videos. As you know, Regional Privateer is about the action sport community, but more than that, taking a risk out there on your life, getting outside of your comfort zone, getting outside of where you're comfortable. Because when you get outside of that comfort zone, that's where you really challenge yourself and you really find out how much greatness you have within you. So, you know, we're about the risk takers, the adventurers, and the free souls. You know, some of my followers out there I've always kept in touch with off and on, and a lot of you people are always providing me good content on, hey, talk about the mental game of racing. Or I've got some recent emails from some people that want to incorporate maybe relationships into my videos. So that's what we're going to do. And how I figured out I would do the framework for is I would just kind of start out, you know, explaining that action sports take a lot of risk. I mean, when you're racing motocross, downhill BMX, whatever your action sport is, it's not your typical sport. These sports you can get hurt in. You can get hurt really bad. So it takes a lot of risk. It takes a lot of courage and commitment, a lot of commitment. So if we look at a relationship, whether you're dating, whether you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, or you're married, you're in a long-term relationship, or you're looking for a long-term relationship, or you're looking to date. You know, if I was gonna talk to my daughter the same way my parents talked to me, I would tell her, the first thing I would tell her is know who she is and what she's about. And I think it's important that we know who we are so that we can have some authenticness, so that we can be authentic, we can be genuine. Because the truth is, you know, fake finds fake, real finds real, or real attracts real. If you're gamey, if you're a game player, you're a player, you're gonna attract that type of person. So really it comes down to, what are you after? Are you wanting to play the scene? Are you tired of playing the scene and you just want to find a really good guy, a really high quality, high value man? Or do you want to find, or are you tired of dating and you're wanting to find a long-term relationship with a high value woman or a high quality woman? Well, it's going to start with knowing who you are, but it's also going to take you being authentic, because you cannot expect a high value woman that is tired of bullshit, or a guy who's tired of all the games and all the bullshit. It goes both ways. Not singling out any sex here, because it goes for both men and women. But if you want somebody that is tired of the shit, you can't be playing games. You know, you got to be real. You got to be able to communicate what it is that you want, even if it could be the first date, or maybe it's down the road a little ways after you've been dating somebody. But whatever you do, you can't be gamey and then all of a sudden switch gears and try to be real, because that's going to cause the relationship to implode, and you're really setting that person up for failure as well as yourself, because you weren't genuine and authentic. And so I think really, you know, for the people that emailed me asking me to do a video on relationships, I think it really comes down to, what do you want in life, and what are your dreams and your visions. And once you establish what your dreams and visions are, then you need to start putting off that energy and be real. And it doesn't mean that you're going to be full of confidence right away. It doesn't mean you're not going to be nervous. Those things are going to happen. That's okay. But you're going to be real. You're not going to be fake. You're not going to be gamey. You're going to be real. And there's no perfect mate out there. There's nobody that's perfect. You wouldn't want somebody just like you anyways. But what you do want, and that's what I tell my 19-year-old daughter, so that she builds that foundation, is really, you want to be looking for things. If you have visions and goals and you know who you are, then you want to have that filter on when you're meeting men. You want to have that filter on when you're meeting women, so that you're filtering out all the potential souls that they're not in alignment with you, because you know what you want. And I don't know about you guys, but I could sniff out, I can taste, and I can see fake from a mile away. And I'm sure a lot of you women out there are the same way. You can pick up on fake and game right away, because you've been out there long enough. You're tired of the bullshit, you're tired of the games, you're tired of the false promises, you're tired of all this shit, and you've gotten pretty wise, and you've actually developed your discernment. And when I talk to my young daughter, I teach her about these things, this discernment, because I want to set her up for victory. I want her to know how to identify masculine energy, but yet her retain her feminine energy, but have discernment, and not let every person that approaches her through that filter. In other words, you identify what you want. You're never going to find perfect, but the idea is to potentially find somebody with similar values and integrity and dreams and goals. Perfection, no. Perfection's unattainable. You'll set yourself up for failure, and you'll set somebody else up for failure, and you'll be lonely for the rest of your life. But what I'm talking about is compatibility in the areas of values, your dreams, your aspirations. That is, if you're looking for a lifelong partner. If you want to find a high quality partner, you're going to have to be a high quality person, and you're going to have to be real. You know, if you want to find a high value man, you're going to have to be honest with them. You're going to have to know who you are and express who you are, and not be afraid to express who you are and what you want out of life. And that may not be the person for you, or that may not be the person for him. And those are just things you got to explore. You know, a high quality, a high value person, a person that knows what they want, they're not going to settle for less. They're not looking for perfect. They're not looking for perfect. If you're just after beauty, if you're just after some dude that's sexy as hell, or some woman that's sexy as hell, and that's all you're after, you're going to come up short. You're going to come up short, because yes, beauty is something a man chases. I mean, I'm just being real. But it's just like a hot rod that's great on the outside, but doesn't have a hot motor on the inside. Well, it could be the same way for a woman. If she's going after looks and she's always coming up short, maybe you ought to think about that. Maybe there's more to the exterior. There's more to the external. And if the values on the inside don't match up in your dreams and goals for a lifelong partner, it doesn't matter how good looking the dude is, because you're gonna come up empty. You're gonna come up unfulfilled, and you're gonna be back in that position of wondering if there's any good men that left out there, or if there's any good women left out there. But that's what happens when you're not up front and you don't communicate it, because maybe you're afraid to scare the person off, or maybe you're afraid of exposing your vulnerability. But the level of your vulnerability will be in direct correlation to your level of your courage, and it's your life. You deserve the best. You deserve somebody to bring you your best. So I hope this video helps. Just like action sports are scary. Action sports involve a lot of overcoming fear. If you're racing motocross, or there's many other sports, it's all about commitment. Well, a relationship's the same way. It's all about overcoming that fear and taking those calculated risks. I'm not saying take a foolish risk. I'm not saying pursuing somebody you know who's wrong for you and then expecting different results. But in order to push through the hard times, just like pushing through a rough track, you got to be committed, and you got to believe in yourself, and you got to be able to communicate, whether it's communicating to your mechanic on what your bike's doing, in the same way in a relationship. So, you know, action sports and relationships are both very tough. They both can be difficult, but with the right tools and the right mindset. And the one thing I want to say, excuse me, it doesn't matter what you're doing. What's going to cause you to overcome so much is self-awareness. Self-awareness is huge, and that's what's going to change things. It's going to change your relationships. It's going to change what you believe in yourself. It's going to cause you to have discernment, and you're going to find those right people, because that energy that you're putting off, those desires that you have, you're putting off that positive energy. So somebody that's gamey is going to attract game. Somebody that's real is going to attract real, because the two don't mesh. If you get somebody who's kind of a player or gamey with somebody who's real and authentic, there's going to be fireworks, because that person that's real has developed that realism in them, and they're going to have that discernment, and they're going to pick up on it right away, and they're not going to have time for that. So make sure that you identify what you're portraying and how you're carrying your energy, and you know, the law of attraction, you're going to pull those kind of people into your life, whether they're friends or whatever. And it's really important that you have self-awareness and discernment, and you recognize when you're not pulling in those quality people that your heart desires. So I hope these videos help. I'm going to be doing more of them. If you have any questions or want to elaborate, comment, share these videos if you think it could help a friend. You can email me at originalprivateer@gmail.com. I'm going to continue these mixed in with some action sports, motivational type videos. I hope you like it. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I love you guys. I love seeing relationships work. I love seeing people push through and believe in themselves. So hang in there. Love you guys.